I'm Mark Larson. I'm this year's Fall Art Walk cover artist, and welcome to my studio. I've been an artist all my life. The first memory I have as a human being was when I was 3 years old, and maybe 4. But I remember drawing a crowned lion walking on the back of a scratch pad on the cardboard, and God, it's like I did it yesterday. I can remember it vividly, and I've just been doing it ever since, and always been an artist, and it's the great passion of my life, for sure. I was the art kid in class, and and always drawing constantly, and but I didn't really think I could do much with it until I got to high school, and I took a watercolor class, and I sold my first painting I ever did to a teacher, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. And so I just kept going, and next thing I knew, I won a statewide art contest in high school, and then I started showing my work on malls when I was in my 20s, and just selling, nature paintings and prints and stuff. And I struggled and I starved, and I literally did the starving artist thing for a while. I just kind of had my eye on the prize though, and I went back to school at Portland State and got my bachelor in fine art and painting, drawing, and printmaking. And that was really kind of the catalyst that got me going. Started taking art seriously again, and I'd been selling along the whole time, but they really challenged me to kind of explore my inner landscape more. Because up until that point, I was really just, a nature painter. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, I didn't really have a lot of interior landscape to draw off of. I hadn't done a lot, I hadn't traveled, I haven't seen a lot. In the late 90s, I met my fiance, Andre, who's an art historian, and she really helped me to expand my worldview. We traveled for the first time to Italy in '99, and well, I got to tell you, that literally changed blew my mind. I was a different person overnight. I never saw the world the same since. I've been back, 4 or 5 times. The last time was in 2005 when I was fortunate enough to show my work at the Florence Biennale with about 700 artists from around the world. All those trips to Italy were a major catalyst for me in that they made me start doing these kind of wild juxtapositions and starting inserting symbolism in my work, and a lion walking through a cathedral, that kind of thing. Well, I would describe my work as imaginative realism, but really it kind of incorporates elements of symbolism, surrealism, romanticism, and just straightforward realism. So it's kind of a blend of all those, really. You can't really pin it down any one thing, but it is kind of my own unique style that I developed over the years. I think I was probably born 200 years too late, but that's okay. I create my pieces in very systematic, thoughtful, kind of a step-by-step process. I do draw on classical painting and drawing techniques that I've learned over the years. So I do begin with a lot of drawings, a lot of sketches. I do a lot of little, literally thumbnail sketches that are about this big when I get an idea started. And I've got stacks of sketchbooks that are sitting in a corner, and I fill them up and I just keep going. And I'll draw maybe every sketchbook I might have 2 or 3 ideas in there that are worth pursuing. And then I develop them bigger into a larger drawing, a more finished drawing. And then when I finally get an idea I like, then I'll work up a study on canvas, or perhaps a charcoal study, and do that a little larger. And that helps me create my values that and the main shapes and values that are the foundation of the painting, and helps me to kind of know where I'm going. This is a clay model that I did for my current painting, Emissaries. The reason I did this is, as an imaginative realist, a lot of things that you imagine, you're not going to be able to find references for. So you basically have to create them out of nothing. So I'll make clay models, or sometimes entire scenes, almost like a little mini diorama. And that's important because you want to be able to get the light correct. I do have lots of photo references of flamingos and so on, but the ones I have for this particular group of flamingos, the lighting was actually coming from the front. So I wanted to see how the light filtering through from that upper window would fall across their backs and their heads, and that helps describe the form in a much more accurate and convincing way. That's just the mechanics of it, but the actual content is much more intuitive. It's just you drawing from your inner landscape whatever that is. It doesn't matter really what it is, it just matters that it's you and that it's meaningful to you. I think all people are really looking for in good art is art that is authentic about what you really feel, what your life experience is. And, we're all unique. Nobody else paints like I do. Nobody does. I'm the only one in the world that does what I do. And I'm not saying it to be boastful, it's just the truth. Every artist is unique. And that's what's so great about it. Everybody can find something in everybody's work that they like or don't like. And that's what makes the world go around. So I'm just really happy to be a part of it and to be a part of the world of art, to contribute my voice and hopefully have something meaningful to say. I recently saw a movie, The Great Beauty. It was a Paolo Sorrentino film. There's a scene in it where a nun and an aging writer, and they're sitting on a balcony, and there's all these flamingos on the balcony. They panned to that scene in the movie. It took my breath away. I was just like, oh my God, look at that. And these flamingos they weren't just birds sitting on a balcony. They were otherworldly beings that just grabbed my attention, and I just couldn't stop looking at it. So anyway, I have actually started a painting kind of based on that idea. And that's, when an inspiration like that hits you, it just does, and you just go with it. But I didn't know what kind of painting I would create from that. So of course what I did was draw back from my earlier experiences, traveling to Italy and so on, and doing some juxtapositions with Italian architecture, flamingos, and so on and so on. People often ask me how long a painting takes to complete. Yeah, there's really no one answer to that. It could be a few minutes. I could create a study and it could be on the wall in an hour, or it could be 10 years. I had a painting that I did called Rising Tide, self-portrait, and it was this amazingly vivid painting I had in a dream. And I was at an art show in Spokane, and I was in a Hotel 6 by myself, and I woke up in the middle of the night, this most vivid dream I ever had. I did a sketch on a piece of scratch paper on the bedside there, but it took me 10 years before I got around to actually painting it, because I didn't really know what it meant. I was a young boy sitting on the floor in the middle of a room on this hardwood floor and light filtering through the windows. And I was sitting on a chair holding a violin, and all around on the floor in front of me were these plaster heads and busts of Roman figures. And oh my God, I had no idea what that meant, And this was in '98. I think it was kind of a premonition, because in '99 I started traveling to Italy. I think in my dream I was actually looking at the painting in a magazine. And of course that painting has been in a magazine. Well, to be chosen as the 2018 Fall Arts Walk cover artist was actually quite surprising. I kind of came out of left field, and I'm very happy about it and honored, of course. I was looking at some of the previous artists, and there's some amazing art there. Can't wait to see how people respond to some of these new things I'm working on. This is Fire and Ice. This is the painting that's on the cover of this year's Fall Art Walk for 2018. This is a 16 by 16 oil on panel, and this is one of those kind of semi-absurd juxtapositions that I like to create now and then. Lilies with a gray whale jumping out of the snow, and then a hiker looking up in awe, And I guess I was kind of thinking back to, some of the concerns about global warming and things. How, I kind of imagine, well, what if the Arctic did melt, and lilies start popping up, and how would things change? And I guess it's actually kind of a hopeful painting, because I kind of think that nature's pretty resilient. And while I'm not happy about what's happening, I'm also hopeful that, maybe if something like that did happen, that nature would just kind of rebound. I guess that's kind of what the whale represents. It's kind of like nature finding its own way, and we're part of nature, so that's kind of where the hiker is there too. And we're all intertwined, and I think it's just kind of a fun idea. You can see me at the Fall Arts Walk at the State of the Arts Gallery, October 5th and 6th. I'll be there showing my painting Fire and Ice. I'll have posters there, and I'll be signing them, so I'm looking forward to that and chatting with people. And I'll have some paintings on display, a new one I'm working on titled Emissaries, with some flamingos in it. And I'll have a bunch of smaller paintings as well, some little oils on gold leaf. Probably have a few drawings and also some prints available as well. And so it'd be a great way to reconnect with the City of New Olympia. And I really appreciate how accepting and welcoming they've been.